Your daily journey in English starts now. Let's begin.
So if you're learning a new language, you definitely know this feeling. A question comes your way, you know the answer, you open your mouth to speak, and nothing. Just total paralysis. Well, today, we're going to decode exactly why your brain does that, and more importantly, how you can start to rewire it. I mean, does this sound familiar? You're right there in the conversation. You understand every single word that's being said. You even have the perfect response ready to go in your head. But the moment you go to say it, your mind just goes completely, terrifyingly blank. It's so frustrating, right? It makes you question all that hard work you've put in. Okay, let's get right into this, because the first and most important thing you need to hear is this. This is not a personal failure. This is not about you being bad at languages or lazy. It's a predictable, explainable neurological response. And you know the best part? Anything that's a predictable response in the brain is something you can actually train and change with the right tools. All right, so here's the absolute key to understanding this whole thing. Understanding a language and speaking it are two completely different skills. Understanding is passive. It's like watching a football match. You can know all the rules, you can recognize the strategies, you can analyze every play from the sidelines. But speaking, that's active. That's actually stepping onto the field and playing the game yourself. Your mind might know the theory, but your body, it needs practice to actually perform. Okay, so that brings us to the first big reason you freeze up. It's not actually about the words you know, but how your brain is struggling to process them under the pressure of a live conversation. So, when someone asks you a question, your brain often falls into what we can call the translation trap. Think about it. In a fraction of a second, your brain is trying to be a thinker, a live translator, a grammar checker, a vocabulary search engine, and a pronunciation coach, all at the same time. That is a massive cognitive overload. Your brain's working memory just can't handle that many complex jobs at once, so the whole system just crashes, and you're left with silence. And this is why it feels like your mind is just blank. You have the knowledge in there, but the process you're using to get to it is way too slow and clunky for a real-time conversation. See, the problem isn't your vocabulary. It's the inefficient mental pathway you're trying to force it through. So, how do we get around this? How do we fix it? We create shortcuts. Instead of building every sentence from scratch, word by word, you train your brain to pull out entire ready-made phrases. Think of them like prepackaged little language chunks. You don't build them, you just grab them. Retrieval is lightning fast, and it completely bypasses that cognitive overload, letting you respond smoothly. All right, now let's get into the second reason, because honestly, this is often the real wall standing between you and fluency. It's not just about processing, it's much deeper. It's emotional and biological. Let's talk about fear. You have to understand, to your brain, the fear of being judged, of sounding foolish, or making a simple mistake isn't just a little worry. It perceives it as a genuine threat to your social standing, to your safety. This triggers the amygdala, your brain's ancient alarm system, and kicks off a full-on fight-or-flight response. You've probably heard it called an amygdala hijack. And here's the wild part about what happens next. When your brain is in that survival mode, its only job is to keep you alive. Communication, that's a non-essential luxury, so it actually reroutes energy away from complex things like speech production. So your mind doesn't just feel blank, your brain is actively blocking you from speaking to save energy for survival. There's actually a great name for this, from the linguist Stephen Krashen, the affective filter. Just picture this invisible wall inside your mind. When you're relaxed, confident, the filter is low. Language flows in, language flows out. But when that anxiety or self-consciousness kicks in, that wall shoots straight up and nothing gets through. You can't learn, and you definitely can't speak. Now listen to this quote from Krashen. Zero anxiety. I mean, that sounds pretty impossible, right? But it points us to a really powerful truth. It shows just how destructive stress is to the whole process of learning. Our goal has to be to create conditions, both inside our heads and in our environment, that lower that filter as much as humanly possible. So what's the solution? We have to actively train our brain to feel safe again. You can start with mindfulness. When you feel that anxiety rising, just notice it without judgment. Take a breath. Then you can practice reframing your thoughts. Catch that negative thought, I'm gonna make a mistake, and replace it with something like, my goal here is connection, not perfection. And most importantly, practice in low-stakes, safe environments. Talk to yourself, record your voice, use an AI chatbot. These actions teach your brain's alarm system that it's okay to stand down. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit for our third reason, because this one reframes everything. We need to stop thinking about language as just a mental thing and start seeing it as a physical one. We always think of language as just knowledge, right? Words and rules stored in our brain. But speaking, that's a physical act. It requires this incredibly precise coordination of dozens of muscles in your tongue, your lips, your throat, to make sounds that might not even exist in your first language. It's a motor skill, just like anything else. It's so simple when you think about it. You could read 1,000 books on how to play the piano. But can you play? Of course not. Not until your fingers actually touch the keys and you start building that muscle memory. It is the exact same with language. All the grammar charts in the world can't replace the physical act of training your mouth to make the sounds. And that's why this one technique called shadowing is, wow, it's such a game changer. Think of it like a pure physical workout for your mouth. You're not focusing on grammar or even the meaning. You are just training your speech muscles to produce the sounds, the rhythm, and the flow of the language automatically without you having to think about it. And it's so simple to do. You just listen to a native speaker and you repeat what they say almost at the same time like an echo. Just 10 minutes of this a day starts building automatic physical pathways so your mouth knows exactly what to do without waiting for your anxious, overloaded brain to give it step-by-step instructions. And that brings us to our final reason you might be freezing up. And it's a close cousin of fear. We're talking about the insidious trap of perfectionism. Krashen also talked about something he called the monitor. Think of it like a little editor living in your head. Now, it's useful sometimes for polishing what you say, but perfectionists become what he called overusers. They analyze every single thought for the perfect grammar, the perfect vocabulary, until they've edited themselves right into silence. The real goal is to turn that harsh critic into more of a compassionate coach, one that encourages you to just go for it. Just look at the difference here. The perfectionist is searching, waiting for the perfect word. And in that silence, the conversation just dies. But a fluent speaker, their goal isn't perfection, it's connection. They'll use simple words. They accept that mistakes are just part of the deal. They prioritize keeping the conversation moving because, well, that's the whole point of language in the first place. Okay, so let's pull this all together. We've got the 4 big reasons you freeze: processing overload, fear, and that affective filter, the physical performance gap, and that perfectionism trap. Now, let's turn all that into a simple, actionable plan you can start using today. So here they are, 3 daily habits that will completely rewire your brain for speaking. First, listen smart. Find stuff you can understand about 70 to 80% of. That keeps your brain engaged, but keeps that anxiety filter low. Second, talk to yourself every single day, with no judgment. Just 5 minutes narrating what you're doing builds the physical and mental habit of speaking. And third, slow down. Rushing is a symptom of anxiety. Speaking deliberately calms your whole nervous system down and signals to your brain that you're safe. And I want to leave you with this. Please, if you remember nothing else, remember this. We freeze up because we treat every single conversation like it's a test we have to pass. But language is not a performance to be graded. It's a tool for connection. Mistakes are not failures. They are proof that you are trying. So the question isn't, will I be perfect? The question is, am I willing to be imperfect in order to connect with another human being? Give yourself that permission.